Welcome, food lovers. Today on the Culinary Journey, we are going to travel to the farm. So you can see we have assorted goodies here and a local farm owner. We are so lucky to have Turnbuckle Farm right on the border of Bella Vista and Bentonville. And this is the owner, Melissa Turnbuckle, who has been there for a year now, and we're going to let you tell a little bit about yourself and what inspired you to start all of this.
All right. Well, my husband Adam and I have had a farm we've been farming for 18 years.
Wow.
We're originally from Springfield, Missouri, so not far from here. Pretty familiar with the region. We started a farm up there in 2009. It was an urban farm and raised our children farming. Then we were offered the opportunity to come down to Northwest Arkansas, and we got to design and build the farm component of Red Barn Farm at the Agrohood.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
because Red Barn is, they had great goods.
Absolutely, and they will again. So yeah, we got to come down here to blank slate and just hit the ground running, and that was our first introduction to Northwest Arkansas. And we just fell in love with it. So as we completed that project, it took us about 2 years, and we kept our farm in Springfield, Missouri. During that time, we had a farm manager that was doing a great job. And we weren't quite sure if we were going to stay here or go home. At the time, we thought we would never leave Springfield, Missouri.
But Bella Vista will capture your heart. And this whole area.
It absolutely did. And my kids fell in love with it, and we fell in love with it. So we continued to just shop for land, and as everybody knows, that's pretty difficult to find around here, especially in this area. Farmland is
there's no farmland.
There's really not a lot.
No.
So yeah, it took us a few years to find a piece of property, and then as soon as we did, which happened last August, we decided it was time to close down our farm in Missouri. So we're leasing that to some other growers, and we are just putting everything we have into Turnbuckle Farm. So we just celebrated our 1-year anniversary as farm owners here in Northwest Arkansas.
Well, we're happy to have you. And I learned about you from JB, who's our executive producer. So I stopped in one day, and it was not the best time of year to have the farm stand full.
Yeah.
But I thought, okay, this is pretty cool. It is the honor system. And, you have grown and have added so many things. Of course, this is more of an abundance time of year.
Yes, yeah.
So, and I think we have a couple photos of the actual farm stand.
Wonderful, yeah. So that's our outdoor section. You can kind of see as you enter the farm, you'll see a little sign that says open. We have this long shed, and if you enter the portion that is enclosed, that's where you'll find produce year-round. We also have some open bays like this one where we'll have some of our root crops and honey and stuff like that. Our pumpkins are in there and apples right now. But the farm stand is actually open year-round, every day. It's honor system. We have a little iPad so you can kind of check yourself out. We stock it multiple times a week. We've got pottery, like I said, candles. I bake the bread every day, so that goes into the farm stand. We've got some local flour that is milled here in Bella Vista. So yeah, it's just a sweet little spot, but it is right outside our door, right outside the farm. And
that's a long drive to work.
It is a long drive. I get yelled at by the chickens all the time.
I know, because you do have chickens.
I do.
The rooster lets you know he's there.
He does. He is a noisy little fella, but he does a pretty good job.
I was going to say, he's doing his job.
Yes,
that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is. It is. He's pretty kind. Every now and then with the pumpkin patch, and it was so busy, he'd get a little fussy. But we just put up a little sign that said, angry rooster.
That's good. Oh, golly. And now I know you do a lot of things out there. You just had a dinner
Yes, we did. We just had a farm-to-table dinner. It was our first dinner, and we teamed up with Travis McConnell, who is a local chef. He's worked all over the country, really, but he's landed in Northwest Arkansas and lives here in Bella Vista.
Good.
And yeah, we got to work with him, and he roasted a pig and did root vegetables, and everything was cooked over fire. It was
Wow.
really special.
Well, I know JB attended one of the dinners
Yes,
and
yes.
said it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
It was a lot of fun. We, this time of year you have to plan for cold weather or rain, which we did get rain
Yes.
on Saturday, thank goodness. And so we had the dinner inside of the barn, which was also really exciting because we've got a lot of people curious about that barn right now.
Well, it's a great setting. It's very rustic, and when I think farm to table, it's the kind of setting that I would want to have a dinner farm to table.
Absolutely.
A lot of restaurants talk about, oh, we do farm to table. Well, they got the produce from the farm, but
Right.
you're in a restaurant.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
still very good.
Yeah.
And I'm glad it's really become popular. The food that you get is so much better.
Yeah. It really
Because-
is. I mean, I think the closer to home, the fresher it is. It hasn't
Yeah.
had to travel, and different soils, different temperatures. It all makes such
Wow.
a difference. They say on average your vegetable travels 1,500 miles on average, and so
Wow.
that's a
That's a
long
lot.
distance,
Yeah.
and to think about that your produce has to be picked in an amount of time to handle storage in a grocery store or a restaurant, travel that far, then get to your house and still not rot on your shelf before you eat it. So I think we lose a lot of nutrients that way, and so it is pretty amazing to actually taste the difference of that.
Big difference.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the first time I've done a fall garden.
Oh, good.
We have done tomatoes and cucumbers for years. We've even done potatoes. But I did put in cabbage, Brussels sprouts, carrots, and radishes. Now, my radishes did really well.
Yeah,
My carrots, not so
especially in
much.
a drought. The fact that you got those.
I can get the hose out and water them. Got to take care of all that. And the cabbages and the Brussels sprouts look pretty good.
Yeah.
They're still there. Fortunately, we're having this weather that, not freezing overnight, so I don't have to cover them.
Right,
Which has
yeah.
been really good. So I'm curious to see how
Yeah.
they're going to turn out.
I agree. I haven't enjoyed the weather because of the pest, but I have enjoyed the second blooming of tomatoes and stuff like that. Has been pretty exciting because I wasn't quite ready to be done with them. So.
No. And the farmers market is over now. I think the Bentonville goes maybe a couple more weeks.
I think so.
Possibly into November. They were talking about some type of a market, but I can't go every Sunday and just pick stuff. But with all that you have, I can go any day of the week.
You can,
I don't have to reserve Sunday morning
No, you
to
don't.
go and get my goods.
You can come anytime. And actually, as we move into winter, a lot of growers in this region will grow year-round. And so even though there's not a year-round market here, that's when I am able to reach out to some of those growers and pick up on their excess produce that they aren't selling to other chefs or wholesalers. And so it is really neat that we get to kind of turn around and support other growers in the wintertime and start buying their produce. And then it also allows us to keep selling our produce, but organize what we grow on what they grow. And so we're kind of getting that wide variety year round. So
That is great. I mean, I saw that you've got nice sized butternut squash,
Yeah.
not these.
Right.
They're manageable.
Normal size.
But what is the best way to peel a butternut squash?
There really isn't an easy way. There really isn't. Sometimes I'll just cheat and not peel it, just wash it and slice it in half and roast it face down. But otherwise, you just have to have a really good pair of peelers and get in on it and
then go out and buy a new peeler.
and then go get a new peeler. Yeah, I've gone through quite a few.
Oh, I'll bet. Well, when different vegetables or in our house, there are only two people, my husband and myself. And we don't do traditional Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay.
Neither one of us are that big on turkey, and we're not going to eat a whole turkey, and we're not going to go through the leftovers.
Yeah.
So, and neither one of us likes sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
Green bean casserole, it's kind of had it enough.
Yeah.
So what would you do in place of some of the vegetables?
Oh, goodness. Well, I'm a big fan of keeping it simple. So I love maybe switching over to carrots, because wintertime you can get carrots locally. And if you just keep them long, slice them in half and roast them, just a little bit of olive oil and salt, it's delicious. You can also do beets locally, which is really great. The butternut you can do. You know, I think we're all used to maybe the traditional sweet potatoes with the marshmallows and all the brown sugar and everything. And that's kind of wild, but if you wanted to keep it more simple and keep it more savory, my family's a big fan of taking the sweet potatoes and just dicing them or cutting them so you just have like discs, basically. And then roasting those and putting like a cilantro and olive oil on top.
Oh.
Like a chimichurri kind of sauce, you know?
Well, and I would have never thought of that. I mean, because I don't do sweet potatoes, but I haven't looked for other ways to prepare them.
Yeah. I
sure.
think it's fun to get it to kind of mix it up and try new things. And I also, a lot of our conversations at the farm, as far as like how we're moving into not only growing the food, but producing, and we've got a food truck we're working on, and so we'll hopefully be serving the food as well. And a big part of our goal there is to keep it simple, to really grow good food and let the food highlight itself, you know. So you do need to cook it and prepare it, but how can you do it in a healthy, light way so that it's still recognizable on your plate as to what it is? I think it's exciting,
really
you know.
good,
Sometimes I do like mushy green beans, and sometimes I don't. So.
Yeah, no, we can't do anything that looks mushy.
Yeah.
Well, my husband actually grew up on a farm in Northwest Iowa.
Oh, nice.
Even though I'm a city girl from Chicago. But, you know, so there are certain things he does not like.
Yes.
And I don't know why he has this stuff about mushy food.
Yeah.
I mean, I love to mix my corn and mashed potatoes.
Oh, me too. That's a given.
That's the best.
I love it.
You know, but chicken, he's not a big fan of eating chicken.
Yeah.
He's like ground beef. Recently, we split a half side of beef with another friend.
Fantastic.
And he was so worried he wasn't going to get enough ground beef.
Oh.
There's over 50 pounds.
So many.
There is so much ground beef, because anything that you don't want as far as cuts, they make into ground beef.
Yeah.
So, which I didn't know.
Absolutely.
And that again is something new, along with all of the fresh produce. You know, what else can we do? You know, and I know we've got local, I just want to say pig farmers like
there's
Ozark
lots
Acre.
of pork and chickens,
Yes.
and you can get local turkeys here. A lot of times you kind of have to plan in advance, because you know they're raising them and they want to make sure that they're sold, and it's really not cheap to raise livestock. So they really need to plan on that. But yeah, I mean, you can get such great chicken around here, and whether it's a whole chicken or parts of chicken. And actually, we just started carrying some organic chicken from Turnbuckle Farm down by Fayetteville. And so right now we're kind of testing the waters to see how folks like it, because we've got it frozen, but it comes in packages, so you can get chicken legs, chicken thighs. We've also got some ground beef.
Okay, I have a friend who likes chicken feet for the collagen, because she makes broth.
Nice, yeah, for sure.
So do you get chicken feet?
I don't, but I will ask him about it. I'm sure he has them.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, they're
good to
also
know.
great dog treats, frozen chicken feet. I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah,
well.
I know, it sounds weird, but
It
it's
does
true.
sound
I mean,
weird.
we eat them. Why not let the dogs eat them? So.
Okay, we're going to take a little break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about some of this produce you brought, and the cake, and herbs.
Yeah.
So we'll see you in a couple minutes.
All right.
Since 2008, Joel's Upholstery and Fabrics in Bentonville has been your go-to destination for top-notch upholstery and fabrics. With over 25,000 yards of in-stock upholstery and home decor fabrics, vinyls, leathers, and a vast design library, we make reupholstery easy and affordable. Our expert staff is available Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. to assist you. We cater to both commercial and household upholstery needs. Stay updated on our latest news, sales, and projects by following us on Facebook and Instagram.
Welcome back. We are going to talk a little bit more. First, let's talk about the garden.
Okay.
You've got, oh my gosh, so much still growing.
We do.
And tomatoes, and I noticed that you do have a big cover over them.
Yep.
But we can still get fresh tomatoes from you.
You absolutely can. Maybe not for long, but right now you can. We've got a caterpillar tunnel. So
Okay.
you'll notice as we're small growers, we grow year round. So we utilize a lot of season extensions. So when you come to the farm, you'll see some what we call low tunnels. They cover 2 rows and they stand about 2 to 3 feet off the ground. We'll cover those with what we call floating row cover, which is just like a white cloth.
Okay.
Sometimes we cover them with plastic. Then we have caterpillar tunnels, which is what our tomatoes are in. And they cover 4 rows, and we can walk inside of those. And then we just got a grant from NRCS, so we're going to be building a high tunnel, which is going to cover 8 rows, and that's what our tomatoes will be in next year. So it does allow us to extend the season, even though naturally Mother Nature has already extended our season.
For once.
For
Oh my
once.
goodness.
And so, yeah, we still have tomatoes. We're actually harvesting cherry tomatoes. I just harvested these cherry tomatoes this morning.
Oh my gosh, and they are lovely.
They are delicious. So, and we are still getting peppers as well. We're still harvesting some lettuces. We'll be harvesting. Yep,
Well,
we've got
let's
lettuce.
talk about everything
okay,
that's in
let's
here.
dig in there. Okay, so this is actually a chili crunch oil that my friend Daniel makes, and you can get this in our farm stand.
I have been studying how to do this because I do can, and I do a lot of salsa and jalapenos and hot sauce and all that.
Nice.
But there's a gentleman I watch on TV who does this. Maybe I should just buy a jar.
You should try it. You should do it yourself too, because
Yeah.
I'm sure it's really fun. But his is delicious. He's a local chef. We actually have a dinner on the 15th with him at the farm. So yeah,
Oh.
that's going to be really exciting.
Should do that for my husband and I have the same birthday,
Ooh.
and it's the 14th.
Well, come on the 15th and celebrate with us. That'll be fun. That'll be fun.
Okay, what else have we got here?
Well, we've got some tallow oil from
Okay.
Redbird Naturals, and she sells all over. But we've been having her products in the farm stand all fall. And the tallow oil is amazing. She has a magnesium spray that she makes.
Really?
Yes, a chapstick, all kinds of good products. And she actually works with a lot of farmers in this region to get all of her products and her scents and her oils and lavenders and everything like that.
Well, you're the first real farmer that I've met in this area.
Oh, well, there's some good farmers. I'll have to introduce you to more.
Okay, chai spice sugar scrub.
Yeah, and that's
I mean, this is like a facial scrub or just
exfoliation.
hands?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can do face, body, feet. Absolutely. Yeah. So the goal with a lot of this stuff is to, when you come in to not only get your local food, you can get some fun local products for yourself or maybe a gift basket. We had one of our CSA members actually put together a little basket as a hostess gift, and they were so excited. And I'm like, you know what? That's a really great idea. You're giving them
Yeah.
something to eat, but you're also giving them something for themselves as well.
Very cool. We've got some lettuce.
Lettuce, yep, and
Or
we'll
is
be
it
having
arugula,
lettuce.
or-
Nope, that's lettuce.
Okay.
Yep, and we'll be having lettuce all season. And we actually grow quite a bit of the lettuce and arugula and spinach at our
Okay.
place.
Have you ever done arugula pesto?
I haven't. I love it. I love it. It is so good.
Chocolate.
Yes, chocolate.
Okay, talk about variety for a farm stand. Who has scrubs and chocolate?
I know. Well, and also we like the people behind all of this. So not only do we want to be growing food and we want people to put our face or the local farmers to the food that they're eating, I think it's important to know Daniel and what he does, you know. And Askinosie chocolate, it's actually from our hometown. Sean Askinosie is an old friend, and he's one of the first bean to bar, and he also does like amazing work with the farmers that grow the cocoa in the other countries.
So this is a dark chocolate coffee? Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it payday?
I know,
Ask my
right?
husband, is it payday? All right.
Yeah, we've got some kale. That was just harvested this morning, and we'll be harvesting that all winter long.
Good. And that would be another good alternative for Thanksgiving.
Oh, my
Either
goodness.
as a salad or a vegetable.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think you can do so many things with the kales in the wintertime, and you know, again, just even keeping it simple. Or if you want to cook it down, I sometimes feel a little guilty saying this, but one of my absolute favorite dishes is Swiss chard and collard greens with a little bit of bacon. It's just
That's
so
okay.
good.
We eat bacon in our house.
I know, right? I don't know why I feel bad about that. Maybe because I'm a
Don't.
produce grower.
You've got celery.
Yeah, we have that growing in the field, and we'll have that until we get some pretty hard freezes. We'll be able to cover that and protect it for a while. But
Okay, good.
yeah,
And
some parsley.
oh
Yeah.
boy, those are big leaves.
Yeah, that's
okay,
growing.
what are you doing to your soil?
Well, that parsley is actually growing underneath our tomato plants, and so it's like a companion plant.
Yeah.
And it's thriving, so I'll have it there all winter, probably forever. It'll probably never go away.
Well, when I was there, I was tempted to go into the tomato tunnel and just kind of see what else
Well,
was
you
there.
should. You should.
I mean, there's nothing better than roasted tomato basil soup with fresh tomatoes.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the best.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, before I go to apples, because I'm going to talk about that. And you do sourdough.
I do sourdough every day. Baked some this morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
I
it
just
is
keep
really
going.
good. We did try it. I've got some at home. Ready to get more. And your price on sourdough is very good.
Oh, well, thank you. I hope so. You know, I price it so that I know that I've got my time and my inputs covered. But again, I want it to be as affordable as possible for folks. So.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it's very good. Do you ever do bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwiches with sourdough?
All the time. All the
All
time.
those things that are so good for you. Well, the lettuce, the tomatoes, and the sourdough.
Absolutely.
And the other thing about sourdough, it's fermented. I don't know if a lot of people know. You know, it's allowed on Weight Watchers diet and South Beach because it is a fermented food. You know, it's not just gluten flour and
Right, yeah. I mean, I don't put any sugar in it. It's just my sourdough starter, organic flour, and salt and water.
Okay,
Purified
since
water.
you brought up flour, she's got apples here.
I do have apples there. Yeah. We'll have
And-
those for a few more months for
Okay,
sure.
good. Thus, the French apple cake. So they have flour. You have eggs. You know, I brought some eggs
Yep.
and apples.
Yeah.
And it's a very simple recipe.
Okay.
I mean, it's just flour, sugar, butter, a little bit of rum, and what other people you need to know, the alcohol bakes off. There is no alcohol left after it comes out of the oven.
Absolutely.
And this is such a light cake. It is very moist from the apples.
It looks gorgeous.
But, you know, it's like produce isn't just for eating or salads or cooking.
Yeah. I think you can do all kinds of stuff with it. I think that's really important. And different ways to preserve it. This would be a fantastic alternative for Thanksgiving and a pie as well. So.
Yeah. Well, again, somebody in the house doesn't eat pumpkin. So, no pumpkin pie.
Yeah, that's all right.
If there is, then there also has to be a pecan pie.
Oh, of course, of course.
Keep everybody happy.
Yeah.
Okay, so tell me about your CSA program.
Okay, So our CSA program, CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture. It's a little bit of a funny acronym. I like to think of it more as like subscription farming.
Okay.
And in this area, we have so many gardeners that we've kind of broke up our season to where we're doing 12-week increments, and then we are offering a 24-week that'll get you through spring and summer next year. But we like to do those shorter seasons because some folks like you that you're gardening, you probably aren't going to have a ton in the early spring.
Right.
But come June or July, you've got your own vegetables, right?
Yeah.
So you could come to us and we could help you get through the early season or fall and winter, but you can still have time to enjoy your own garden. So basically people pay up front, or they pay 30% up front and then a monthly payment. And that allows us to have the money for the seeds and the labor to grow the food, to harvest the food. And then you come to the farm every Tuesday and you pick up a box of food that we're growing for you.
Wow.
Yeah, and you can add on things like you can add on bread or eggs or, you know, cheese or chocolate on top of just the stuff that we're growing for you. And that just kind of guarantees that you're going to have it, because the farm stand works really well for a lot of people, but it is hit or miss. And so our CSA members take priority. They get everything that we're growing or making first, and then if we have stuff left over, it goes into the farm stand.
Okay, and you also partner, you've talked about other farmers, where you supplement what you have.
Yes.
With things from them.
Yeah, and that's been really exciting because traditionally we haven't done that.
Okay.
We've always really just focused on growing the food and selling the food directly from us to the customer. This space that we have for Turnbuckle Farm is a very unique layout. We actually aren't going to be able to grow everything that we want to grow. We'll probably have, when it's all said and done, about an acre in production. But we are really leaning heavy on hospitality within this project. So we're going to have a food truck there and the greenways coming through there. And we plan on doing a lot of the events and dinners and stuff like that. And so it's really like near and dear to our hearts to then turn around and be able to support other growers and other producers instead of just focusing on accomplishing that goal ourselves. So I'm really excited about that, and it has been a lot of fun so far, but it's only going to get bigger and better, and it's just going to, it's such a beautiful location.
It is.
And I think that as everything gets established, the traffic is going to pick up, and so I love the idea of that site serving as an outlet for a lot of other people.
Let's tell people where you are.
Oh, yes. So basically, we are on McNelly Road and on McKissick Creek. So there is the bridge. As soon as you come off of 49, you cross that bridge, and our driveway is right there. Most people drive by us.
It's easy to miss.
Yes, it really is easy to miss. So hopefully, you know, as we get the drive established a little bit more, it'll catch your eye.
Well, and I think once the food truck is operational on a regular basis, you know, will attract attention and people, I'm sure.
I think so too. And I think once the greenway is established, you know, folks will be able to even park like across the creek and walk the bridge over, because it'll be a pedestrian bridge. So then it won't just be parking at the farm and having to enter and exit right there. You'll be able to park across the creek or, you know, across McNelly and just walk the greenway, which will be really exciting.
Good. Oh, and the one thing we did not talk about were herbs. You do have a refrigerator.
Yes.
But you also have chocolate chip cookie dough.
In the freezer.
And you have a refrigerator with drinks.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to just, you know, slowly extend our offerings. We like to really consider this project as trail to farm to table. So we want folks to be able, we want to be a destination for everyone to come get their groceries, maybe grab a prepared dish or get a beverage out of the farm stand and then sit by the creek or walk the trail and just really enjoy the space, because it is a lovely area, and we're really excited to be there and feel just extremely lucky and want to share it with everyone else. So
Good.
we're really excited about that.
Okay, well, we are going to wrap up, but I want to thank you so much for sharing this time with us and explaining everything. And if you like this, please subscribe. Help us to move forward so that we can offer you more.
Yeah.
And we are nonprofit, so anyway, like and subscribe. We will see you next month. Actually, I'm going to go to the North Pole. We're going to decorate cookies.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Yeah.